indulgence is why you've come, riding high on your emotions, reaching up, feel the rush. Is it real or just enough? Lift your hands if you're looking for a show. Did you come to hear what you already know? Are you looking for some comfort? Let me entertain you. What a thing to get you high. All you gotta do is step inside. Welcome to the show. Are you ready to die or just live for yourself? Do you pray for the souls of anyone else? Are you giving it all? Are you holding it back? Are you standing complacent or on the attack? Are you ready to die or just live for yourself? Do you pray for the souls of anyone else? Do you worship a God that you don't really know? Do you long for the truth or you just want to show?
Alright. Hello. Hi there. Hello, people. I'm sorry for the late. Yeah, I'm sorry for, for not giving y'all a heads up ahead of time, but how are you guys doing? Hello, welcome. We're here with another episode of the Lightning Round talk show. Nice to see y'all. For anyone that don't know me, I'm Riding the Phantoms here. Uh, what I do, this is my little talk show. This is my little space where, when I'm not playing games, I'm talking about stuff that's going around in the world of our life, whether it's sports related, anime related, gaming, no matter what it is. Uh, we talk about it. We have a little small discussion about it, and we just have fun with it. Now, if y'all heard what I said last week, I don't mind having to repeat it here. Whereas, as of late, I don't think I'm going to be doing scheduled streams right now because of what I'm currently dealing with. But when I have the time to do them, I would try my best to let y'all know, or such and such is coming today, such is happening. This is what I plan on doing at, whatever specific time that there is to come. It's very inconvenient for some people, and I completely get that because you're not getting a whole lot of information. But right now, until this situation is straightened out, hopefully you guys can just grit and bear it for the time being. I'm praying that y'all can, it'll most likely be for about probably for about a month or so. I don't know. I know that's a month of doing this, but hey, right now it's either that or I go completely insane with having to fix schedule with everything, and everything is all types of messed up. So why do this episode lightning round now? Well, here's the deal. First thing is I immediately went to sleep by the time I got back here. Now, I got back here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, very early time. That's more enough time for me to sift through, have 4 or 5, have a couple hours to do whatever it is I want to do before I started this. But I immediately went to sleep, woke up, and then went right back to sleep again. It's one of those kind of streams, one of those kind of days, where I had some damn good food. It wasn't that I was bored or anything. It's that the food just put me right to sleep. So yeah, there's that. That's why I'm starting so late. But I will promise you next time, I will be starting. I will be letting y'all know ahead of time, in advance with what's going on. So today we got some topics we want to cover with our 31st episode of this podcast. So let's talk about it, right? So we have the Madden 23 cover. We have EA Sports announced what their Madden 23 cover. They're going to reveal it tomorrow on June 1st. We have Bray Wyatt. We have some news going on with Bray Wyatt from wrestling, from WWE, or from just wrestling in general, if y'all know who he is. We have the Wuthering Waves trailer that we need to talk about, that we need to cover. And there's going to be just maybe a few more, and I say maybe a few more, that I might be able to cover. It'll have to be on my spare time, if possible, with some of the stuff I do want to talk about. Some of them I might avoid talking about, but yeah, I'll talk about it at a later time, from what I'm seeing here. So let's get to it, right? Let's talk about the Madden NFL 23 cover, since that's the first thing I'm seeing here. That's the first thing I put down here. So apparently, let me go ahead and bring this up here on the browser real fast. Madden has EA Sports. Madden, of course, has revealed that they will be revealing the cover of Madden NFL 23 tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone's giving thoughts on who they think for what a player should be when it goes to Madden 23. I'm gonna say this: there shouldn't be any player at all. If in my opinion, there shouldn't really be any player on the cover of Madden 23. And if there's gonna be players on the cover of Madden 23, it should be players that make the face of course, the man that helped build the game and build the brand for what it is. It should be John Madden himself. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There should be no singular player. There shouldn't be two players. No, there shouldn't be that. If anything, at the very least, if there's one thing EA Sports should get right, or EA in general should get right, it should belong to the man that started it all. It should belong to John Madden. Now, I've seen some shit before where why I said multiple players make up the face of John Madden, because we've seen this happen before in artwork. We've seen this happen with album covers. We've seen this happen with artworks. With they take a specific person's best moments and they make a face out of them. Demonic, how you doing? Welcome. How you doing? It's great to see you. It's always great to see you. By the way, I saw the pictures that you sent me with you being at the beach. Absolutely phenomenal, man. I'm happy you enjoyed yourself over at the beach. I hope one day I get to experience that again. But yeah, we've seen this before. Right now, you're just coming here. You're coming in early. I'm just talking about the first topic that I was supposed to cover. That was Madden NFL 23. We're talking about the cover of the game, who I think should be on the cover of the video game, this upcoming video game. And like I said before, it should be none other than John Madden himself. There should be no one else but John Madden. And if you're going to make NFL players, if you're going to put NFL players on the cover, if that's what they so badly want to do, they should make John Madden's face as a form of the cover. Because like I said, we've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen with players' best moments, coaches' best moments. We've seen this happen with album covers before, where someone made an entire album cover, but they made it with someone's face on it. But yeah, basically, like I said, at the end of the day, it should belong to John Madden. If it's anyone else, it's a fucking travesty. So that's just me, plain and simple. So we'll find out what's gonna go on with them in tomorrow on the 1st of June. You said, yeah, my relative plans on going to another beach sometime this summer. Hey, let's go. Again, bro, I'm very happy for you. Yeah, go have some fun, man. Have fun at the beach as much as you fucking can. And please, again, as usual, stay safe, because we know people out here today, they're fucking dangerous. So regardless of where you're going, just keep yourself safe and, have fun. Have fun. Always have fun at the beach. It's never really it's always a good time to go to the beach and to chill out. I haven't got to go to the beach often, but when I have, it's always been a great feeling to go. So yeah, pretty much just have a good time. Have fun. But yeah, as for when it goes to Madden, like I said, should be none other than him. No one else other than him. Now, whether it's, I'm just predicting here. Whether the game ends up being shitty or not, we'll find that out as time goes by. But if there's one thing they should get right, it should be John Madden. If you guys think otherwise, have at it. Feel free, have at it. Why? Yeah, and I'm seeing there's all signs pointing to him looking to be on the cover. I'm like, I hope so. I very much hope so. It should be no one other than him. But that's just me. So let's talk about another thing that's on our mind. You'll send pictures, thank you. Give me a minute, my phone's going off. Alright. So the next thing on my mind I want to talk about and get off my chest that I put here is, of course, Bray Wyatt. Now, this is interesting. Now, y'all may not know who Bray Wyatt is, and that's absolutely understandable. But for people that do, the last time y'all saw Bray Wyatt, at least in a wrestling ring, period, was on last year's WrestleMania, where he faced off against Randy Orton. Then after that, he wasn't really seen from again. Dude was practically a ghost. And then if y'all kept up with the story even further, you know that Bray Wyatt got released from the WWE due to budget cuts. So, ever since then, Bray's been putting out cryptic tweets, cryptic stuff to say. But now it feels like with what he's saying here, it might all finally come to a head. With what he wants to do, where he's gonna go, and whatever and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and give y'all a little idea of what's going on with him. Where these 3 tweets right here, I'll go ahead and read these off to you. I'll just zoom in a little bit, read these off to you. Where he says, "Everything good that's ever happened to me first came a period of horrible suffering. I never asked why. I just want the rough part to end. I was chosen for whatever reason, and I got shit to do. It doesn't hurt anymore. It burns. I'm ready now." And then he put out the little red circle. So another thing where he said was, "I'm tired of watching. I'm tired of hearing irrelevant clowns speculate how I'll be perceived. I'm tired of hearing about my greed, my desire questioned. Wherever and whenever I decide to return, I'll remind everyone why they know my name. Again and again. Believe in me." And he said, hashtag I found it. So there's one last thing he said, which was, "Patience, it's almost time." So we're leading very close to where Bray Wyatt might end up going in a form of wrestling. But here's the deal that's still a big question for a lot of people, and I understand why it's still a big question, is where the hell is Bray Wyatt going to go wrestle to? Because you could think of many spots that he can go to, and people would still be a little weird, a little flabbergasted with it. And I understand. So let's go here. Let's go ahead and run some hypotheticals here with where he could end up. First, let's take the WWE. If it's true for what he said, where he said, and under his words, were at first he felt like, what was it? He felt hatred. He felt pissed when it went to the whole situation with WWE. But then he also said over time he was able to heal, or whatever that was about. So I guess he was able to spiritually heal. How you doing, Omega? What's good? I'm sorry again, guys. I'm sorry for that abrupt announcement with me doing lightning round. But yeah, you just missed me talking about EA and talking about who I think should be on the cover of Madden 23. To make it short, in case you missed it, I said it should be John Madden and it should be no one else. And if they want to be creative by having players in the cover, those players should make the face of John Madden. That's it. That's all there is to it. Either way, it belongs to him and no one else. Why? Because he died last year, and there's no one else that should no one else that you should honor with that cover than, of course, the creator himself. But now we're on it with Bray Wyatt, where I just talked about his tweets, and now we're talking about where he may potentially end up. At a 10 to 6 shift today, so for once I can watch the stream. Oh, that's fine, bro. That's fine. Honestly, even if I had started at 5:30, I would say you wouldn't miss too much. So you're fine. You're absolutely fine. But yeah, to continue on with what I was saying with Bray Wyatt, with where he might end up. Again, we're talking about with WWE, where it said, okay, he might have potentially forgiven WWE with how they handled him. And, you know, at first he had hatred towards them or whatever. So let's go ahead and run the thought process on if he does return to WWE, then that will fully tell us that he's fully forgiven them with what happened with him earlier, where, of course, he was the Fiend. He was red hot. He was selling merch all over the place. And then after that, they suddenly let him go because of budget cuts and nothing else. If it's true that he had forgiven him, then that's all there is to it. You know, there's nothing that anyone could really say to stop him from that decision if he decided to go back to WWE. Now, would this make more people tune into WWE because of this? Likely so, because Bray Wyatt has been... I'll get to your comment in a bit, Omega, because Bray Wyatt has been like constantly teasing a new character. Even after the Fiend, way after the Fiend, he's been teasing a new character, to where he's gone from a cult leader. He's gone from a, like Mr. Rogers kind of guy. If you ever watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you know, he's kind of going from that kind of guy with the toys and shit like that. Hans, how you doing, Hans? What's good with you? Where he's going from a cult leader kind of thing. Now he's reaching towards. I'm doing good, bro. We're doing that episode. We're doing an episode. I will get to everyone's comments as soon as I'm done talking about this with Bray Wyatt real quick. Yeah, he's going from that. He's gone from a cult leader. He's gone from a Mr. Rogers guy. Now he's gone from a demonic monster in the Fiend. And now we have number 4, where we're going to find out exactly what he's trying to reveal here. Now you see by his little profile picture here, I'm going to go ahead and show this real quick, where it has a little butterfly, has a little moth, a little butterfly, whatever it is, and his face is, you know, is covered up, it's covered in red, but you can easily make the assumption that it's his mask. It's the new mask of what he's trying to reveal. So we will find out in time of what he's doing. But the first option was WWE. The second option is AEW. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Well, AEW, we'll see it as this. AEW, if he goes there, he has an option to where he has all the creative freedom in the world and no one's really going to say anything or bitch to him about it. We could look at a couple wrestlers right now in AEW that has all the creative freedom in the world and they're just having fun with it. Obviously, there's Chris Jericho. There's one. You know, he gets to do whatever he wants. He has 2 factions in a matter of a few years. First, he had the Inner Circle. Now he's with the Jericho Appreciation Society. He's out to do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a shit. So there's him. He has his own little creative freedom. We have CM Punk, who's now the AEW World Champion. He had his own freedom to do whatever and say whatever and wear whatever the fuck he wants. And he doesn't have any issues with that. Really, that's one thing with AEW. I'll just mention 2 of the top stars. You know, of course, there's Hangman Adam Page. There's Adam Cole. There's of course the Dark Order. There's the House of Black. There's plenty of wrestlers in that company right now that have a lot of freedom and a lot of things that they want to say, that they want to do, to where they won't have to feel like they're being held back or that they're being hemorrhaged or whatever is the case. So if he does go there, he does have those options. But I will tell you the con that comes with those options, with having to go to AEW, is right now AEW's roster is very much stacked. There's a lot of people on that roster. In fact, let me go ahead and do y'all the favor of looking up their roster right now. They have a lot of people right now and a lot of star power that can come from what they have. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Of course, you have CM Punk right here. You have Thunder Rosa. If there's anything, I will tell you this right now. If there's anything that AEW needed is in a shot in the arm, it's the women's division, because it's still coming off as very weak. Even years prior, it's still very weak. They have the Jurassic Express, who's the tag champions. They have Scorpio Sky. They have Jade Cargill, who's looking to be a star of her own just by holding the belt and, you know, having all that charisma that she brings. Of course, I just mentioned you have Adam Cole here. You have Hangman Adam Page, who's looking to be one of the future pillars of the company. You have Andrade, who was recently released from WWE. He came over there. He's just chilling, doing whatever the hell it is he want to do. You have I don't know why Billy Gunn's there. I don't think he's there just to be there right now. He's just there just to chill out. Like, he's there just to manage the guys he's with. You have the Acclaimed, by the way. The Acclaimed, they're starting to build on their own. You have 3 members of the Undisputed Era that was once in WWE. You have Adam Cole, you have Bobby Fish, and you have Kyle O'Reilly. Now, we don't know if number 4 is coming. That's Roderick Strong. We don't know. But you have 3 of the guys there. So, you have Bryan Danielson here. You know, formerly Daniel Bryan. That's star power of itself, you know, to keep you going in the present day, and then after that, while they build their future stars. You have Bryan Danielson here. I've just mentioned Chris Jericho. You have Christian Cage there to help with the young talent. You have Christopher Daniels there to help with the young talent. Anybody that don't know who Christopher Daniels is, go look back at TNA. Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, and there you go. That's all there is to it. That right there alone should tell you what kind of wrestler he is. You have Cole Cabana to help with the young talent. And you have Danhausen, who just recently got there. He's there for the comedic stuff, because he doesn't really do anything that's really all about wrestling. He's just there for comedy. the way how I see it. And that's absolutely fine because some wrestlers in WWE, some wrestlers in general, they're usually there for comedy just to have fun with. Or just to show their shit off. You have Dante Martin, who's one of the futures of the business. You have Darby Allin, who's one of the futures of the business. You see what I'm saying? The AEW has so many fucking wrestlers that it's hard for you to make a case where the hell where the hell is Bray Wyatt gonna fit in? What's he gonna do? I just mentioned Jon Moxley as well, present day of the business. Keith Lee, present day, with the business. Kenny Omega, who's hurt, present day star of the business. You have so much of what they have going on. You have MJF, who's the future of the business. I would say I would talk about him, but everybody's already talked about him and his contract situation. So yeah, basically with Bray Wyatt, I don't know what's gonna happen with him if he does land in AEW because they have so much fucking star talent for the male roster. It's not even funny. Not just for the present, not just from the past. They have people from the past come in and they help said talent, but now from the future. Past, present, future. They already got themselves stable for what the fuck happens next. Should one guy want to leave, you have the present guy to come in. If one guy from the past leaves, you have one guy from the present day to take over that mantle. When that one guy of the present becomes that person of the past, then the person of the future becomes the person of the present. Such and so forth. That's how it is with wrestling. That's how it always was. But I love how they're just organically building their male roster. The problem, as I said before, is their female roster. We don't know what the fuck is going on with that. The female roster, they had the talent. They have the talent. The problem is, while they have the talent, they're inconsistent on other things, such as being believable with beating a specific, wrestler or being serious, in the face of the crowd. That's really their issue right now. That's why I said they needed that shot in the arm, and they got it with Athena right now. But yeah, with Bray Wyatt, I don't know what AEW right now. I mean, whether he goes there, if he goes there, I'll be happy for him because he gets all the creative freedom in the world. The only con is where you're gonna fit. That's it. Lastly is Impact, because I don't want to talk on this too much longer than I already have. Same thing when it goes to AEW. He gets the creative freedom. He gets to do whatever the hell it is that he wants to do there. Now, my problem with Impact and period is, like, imagine coming from the WWE. You're performing in front of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of fans, 100,000 of fans, 50,000, 100,000 of fans, 50,000 of fans, something like that. You go from that, and then you go from Impact Wrestling, where you're wrestling for a measly 100, 200 people, 300 people. That's in the stadium, and even in the stadium, that's in the arena. Probably not even 100. I'd argue say 50, 25, 30 people. So imagine going from WWE to go there. Like, and considering the star that Bray Wyatt is, it would be so fucking, like, it'd be such a downfall for me if he goes there. Because he doesn't deserve to perform in front of 25, 30 people. Bray Wyatt's the kind of guy that earned his right to perform for thousands and thousands of people with his work, so people can see what he's trying to do, what his story he's trying to convey, with whatever it is that comes through his mind. He should have it so that thousands should be able to hear it and see it. So for him to go from WWE to immediately jump to Impact, it's fucking wild to me. Now, it's not to say that some wrestlers haven't done that before. Truth be told, we can take a look at Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes did that before. When he left WWE, the first thing he did was go right over to Impact. But here's the deal, though. Impact at least had a crowd. At the time, they had a little bit of a crowd. A little bit. It wasn't too much, but it was still just enough to where he was able to own his craft. He went from there, went right over to Ring of Honor, where he was able to perform for a little bit more. He was able to perform for more people, or if not, arguably the same amount, but still, he was able to do whatever it is he wanted to do. Then he goes right over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan, I shouldn't have to say much about how many people they pack inside of an arena. They pack like hundreds of thousands of people in Japan. These motherfuckers is diehard over there. That's why they love New Japan Pro Wrestling so much, because they constantly sell out these places, and they just be having fun with it. Go from that, then go from starting your own company in AEW, one of your own company in AEW. So yeah, it's not to say Bray can't do that, but you know, it's just a little weird for me if he does go right over the Impact. So there you go. Those are really his three options. The fourth option apparently is control your narrative, but we haven't even seen him have a show yet. We don't know what the hell's going on with them. So that's enough with them right there. Really, he has just three options. That's WWE, that's AEW, and that's Impact. Both comes with their pros and cons. Really, the biggest con I will have to say, in case I haven't stated with WWE, is he'll be right back to where he was initially. You know what I mean? He'll be right back to where he was initially, and what I mean by that is that it's like nothing changed. And nothing really changes. We don't know what's going on with his character work. He doesn't have full control of his work. So to see that he decided to go back to the spot to where he felt like this in the first place, it'd be crazy to me. This is why I said I get why CM Punk constantly gets at WWE. I see why John Moxley, who was formerly Dean Ambrose over WWE, I see why he gets at them as much as he has, because he's tired of being held back by them, and he wants to have control over his own shit, control over when he wants to wrestle, control over his own character work, control over how his mannerisms go, control over how everything that he wants to put out for the crowd to see, he can do that. So for him to go back to WWE, it would be a little weird to me. So there you go. Those are thoughts there. So now next we have to talk about the Wuthering Waves situation. But before I do though, if there's any thoughts y'all have to come up with Bray Wyatt, have at it. Feel free. Because I can't be the only one that feels like if he goes back to the WWE, then it's like that's a little weird to me. And if he goes to Impact, it's too small for him. So Bray's in a weird little bubble where I get it, I understand, I'm for it if he goes back to WWE, but I'm still gonna look at it in another point of view and be like, okay, that's a little weird to me. You decided to go back to the spot that that cut you in the first place for no fucking reason. Then there's Impact. It's too small for you, even though they grant you your freedom. It's too small for you. Then you have AEW where you had your freedom, but now it's like there's too many people. Who are you gonna work with? It's too many people, and everybody got their own star power. Of course, the present day Bray would fit in the present category. He's not someone from the past. He's definitely not someone from the future. He's someone from the present day. So you have to look at it as, okay, what's the present day roster looking at? Yeah, it's really in serious limbo. It's been limbo. It's been limbo for me since let's see. It's been limbo for me the minute. I would say it's been limbo for me the minute. I'm trying to think of it. When I would say when Matt Hardy. I think when Matt Hardy or Bray or Keith Lee, when those guys got there. I'm sorry. When Malachi Black got there, that's when for me his status started to be up in limbo, because it's like I don't know who can you say that he's gonna feud with. The Undisputed Elite, they're already there, and I don't think he's gonna take the faction of the Dark Order. By the way, I mean look, I'm just looking at the present day. The present is this: Adam Cole. Let's take away most of these guys. Just look at the present. Adam Cole. Chris Jericho, even though he's kind of in the past, so to speak, because Chris Jericho's like in his 50s, bro. But still. Chris Jericho. Christian Cage. Yeah. Christopher Daniels. CM Punk. That's 5 right now I'm mentioning. Eddie Kingston, because Eddie Kingston, he ain't no young guy either. But yeah, Eddie Kingston at 6. I forgot about him. He's fucking over as hell. Of course, Jake Hager, when you factor in, his group, his faction. John Moxley, Bryan Danielson. That's like 8 guys I've mentioned already. Not even talking about the factions, by the way. But that's just 8 guys solo that I mentioned. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, just them off as a tag team. I'm trying to think of. You got Miro, by the way, who was once Rusev in WWE. You got Miro there, also of the present. Malachi Black of the present. Too many guys of the present. You got Paul White, who's basically the Big Show of the past. Too many guys. His status is in limbo. This is not me talking about Sting, by the way. Sting, for fuck's sake. Of the past. So it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's very, very weird. Warlow, yeah, of the present. And probably the future. But yeah, his status is in serious limbo. But we will find out and see what'll happen with him. We just really don't know. Next, I'll have to again. We're gonna take a look at the Wuthering Waves gameplay trailer. If you guys haven't looked at it, then it's a good thing I'm gonna show y'all now, so you could get your own thoughts on what you think the game will look like, how you think the game will play. Because this caught my attention, thanks to Jer Bear deciding to show this off, and we're about to see what this is all about. This is just the gameplay trailer. I'm not showing any trailers. I want to look at the trailer yourself. Okay, so that was the trailer. To give my thoughts on it. Yeah, basically that. But to give my thoughts on it from how it looked more like a game that was a mix of Genshin Impact and Punishing Gray Raven. So, I see it as this, right? If they're going to do this, they cannot be doing things that were similar to how Genshin did it. They have to go a little bit more differently. Don't just go linear open world, like actually sit up here and do some different shit compared to Genshin, compared to Breath of the Wild. I know that's a little bit of a hard axe from a game company such as Kuro Games, but I will say it needs to be a little different. It cannot be like how Genshin is. Otherwise, people are just going to go back to Genshin and call it a day. Now, it's already looking to be a little different because of the combat. I will say this. The combat is way, way, way more better, in my opinion, than Genshin. I mean, it already got it beat there because of, they did Punishing Gray Raven. They're porting some of that Punishing Gray Raven combat over on this one. And I'm all for it. But if you're going to make an open world Punishing Gray Raven, basically for what this is, and if you're going to make it grim, if you're going to make it dark, I don't know about you guys, but just having it simply be a Genshin Punishing Gray Raven isn't enough. You got to separate yourself from doing what Genshin is. I mean, honestly, they didn't necessarily do that when it went to Punishing Gray Raven and Honkai Impact. That's why I'm still playing Honkai Impact. As much as I love the combat that Punishing Gray Raven has, it's the fact that it's basically a faster Honkai for me. It's not really it. Plus, You have to factor this in. There's some things they did in Punching Gray Raven aside from how the combat is, aside from how specific stuff is, that turned me away. Let's take a look. I mean, for me personally, what turned me away is I guess the characters, so to speak, in Punching Gray Raven. And this is my fear with this game too. None of the characters, aside from one, really just one character, none of the characters really spoke out to me as someone that I really want. Only one character did, and that was because of their combat. And that was because of the way how their combat is. Like, I'm also show you. I think it's Alpha, right? Like, and y'all know what I'm about when it goes to characters that play, like one of my favorites in combat when it goes to Virgil, right? She's literally like another anime version. Aside from that, literally nobody in the game made it really interesting for me to pick up and play. Everyone for me just felt bland. And I guess I should say emotional. Then again, I'm not surprised because it's a dark ass game. I'm gonna talk about I am gonna talk about multiverses, but I don't think it's gonna be right now because I don't have the game. I could only talk about what I want to see from it, but all I really have to say is what really everyone else has already said, is when it goes to multiverses, the game just needs a little bit more polished. The game is a fun game. Oh yeah, for sure. And I will be playing it. Make no mistake. But my thing is like I said, the game needs more polish. When that happens, then I will talk about it a bit. I will talk about it further. But right now, I'm interested. That's all they need to know. Is I'm interested. They have my attention. I'm for it. Happy streaming. I will check it out right after. See, that right there's enough for me to show. It's like, yeah, Lucia is practically a fucking Lucia Alpha is practically another fucking Virgil. But yeah, really when it goes to Punching Gray Raven, that was really it. They had no other characters in the game that made it all that interesting for me to really play with. Not the original character is fucking great. The one you start out with, she's good. I like her. I don't like the second and third characters. I don't like a lot of the characters. It's really just the main character and her upgraded form, which is this one. This is her upgraded form. That's not good. That's what worries me when it goes to this upcoming game. That's what worries me when it goes to this upcoming game. Is the fact that it should be more characters that should get my attention. It shouldn't just be her. Like, that's the thing with Honkai that people seem to underrate is, and even at times Genshin, which people seem to underrate, is there's characters that, you know, we truly do like, either because of the design or because of how they act, because they show emotion with specific things, you know, how they carry themselves. That's why we still play it. We love it for what it is. I mean, let's go ahead and take Honkai. I love Kiana, actually. You know, at first I thought Kiana was a complete and utter airhead, but then over time she's actually given character development, and now we fucking love her. Especially with her being as the hairdresser of Flame Xian. Why? Because she showed maturity. She went through her shit. She showed some maturity. And now, you know, people, they're with her. I don't see any character development when it goes to Punishing Gray Raven. Not with the main character, not with the side characters. We even see it with, of course, we see it with Raiden Mei. We see it with Bronya. I'm talking about Honkai. We see it with Raiden Mei. We see it with Bronya. We saw it with fucking Himiko, even though she's the goddamn teacher. she showed some character development. We saw it with the principal. You know, what was her past like and how she's going about it now. We saw it with fucking who was it? I'm trying to think of her name. I'm trying to get it out. Fucking stuttering. Fuha. There you go. God. We saw it with her. We definitely saw it with her. And it was a little weird with how they went about it with her, but we see it. I don't see any of that with Punch and Gray Raven. That's my problem. Plus the character designs are bland, so you're not helping yourself there. That's one thing Wuthering Waves has to really nail down with this game. The characters, which already for me in my opinion don't look all that good. They look very, I guess they look like Genshin characters to me. A couple of them look like Genshin characters. Even the main character look like a Genshin character to me. So yeah, they need to work on that. Next thing I want to talk about is this here. Now, if y'all got any thoughts when it goes to the Wuthering Waves, have at it. But for me, that's my thoughts on it. The game is interesting. The game has some promise. But the one thing that really scares me is the character development, the designs, which so far they haven't necessarily done a good job with. And of course, we need to see how the game is, instead of just being an open world Genshin with Punch and Gray Raven combat. They need to show that they can be more than that. Those are my 3 fears with the game. If it can be more than that, then hey, you got it. You got your people. You finally got your people. You finally got everything right. You finally got everything the way how you want it to. So, there's that. Next I want to talk about some Star Wars real quick. One of the few, this is one of the few things that I felt like this was on my mind that I had to really talk about. I really had to, mention this. So, for anyone that remembered watching the Star Wars Obi-Wan episode with me, if y'all haven't watched it yet, y'all need to watch it. I'm telling you, it was very good. Go check it out for yourself. Imperial March intensifies. Yep. Imperial March is definitely going to intensify when you're done reading this. So, apparently, the official Star Wars Twitter account defends Moses Ingram after she has received racist comments and death threats for her role as Reva in Obi-Wan Kenobi. There are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist. Here's the deal, which is so crazy to me. What's going on with the Star Wars fans that apparently y'all feel the need to be racist towards her all of a sudden? Why even be racist towards her all of a sudden? You want to know what's so crazy to me? And I have this question to ask. Were they racist when Finn was announced? When the motherfucker was once a stormtrooper, then he sat up there and he rebelled? I wonder if there were racist comments towards him, because if there were, then I don't know what's going on with this little culture of Star Wars all of a sudden. Oh, by the way, there's Mace fucking Windu, by the way. There's Samuel L. Jackson. So, I don't understand where this... I don't understand why why particular fans are being racist when you had 2-3 other African American human beings, African American characters, so to speak, in the Star Wars universe once before, and you weren't racist towards them, but now you pick now to be racist. That's my fucking thing. I mean, I don't fucking get this shit. So, what are y'all thoughts on this? Because honestly, I don't understand this. If anything, I wish she did have a actual fucking blazing hot lightsaber so she could cut down said racists. But that's just me. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, I'm even looking at the comments here, and it's so fucking crazy to me. Now, that's some dark side shit right there, being a fucking racist. I mean, I'm even looking at the comments. They had me dying, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Star Wars fans, y'all need to get y'all act together, because if y'all I don't know why y'all acting like this towards her. I don't know why y'all acting like that in general. If Star Wars wants to reveal another African American character, let them. This is their story just as much as it is yours. Really, it's their story. They're the ones that's fucking making it. They're the ones that's making the bread. It belongs to Disney, if anything. And if they want to sit up there and make a black character, make a sinister black character, let them. They gonna make a sinister black character, sinister Latino, sinister white. Don't matter. All that matters when it goes to Star Wars universe is light side, dark side. I don't give a fuck. Plain and simple. They were fueled by the dark sides of the Force. Nah, man, this is darker than dark side of the Force right here. I'm sorry. Even Palpatine and Vader weren't racist. Like, I ain't trying to hear this shit. Like, come on now. Come on. Like, we need to stop this nonsense. We had enough, like, bad shit going along with the world as it is. Last thing we need is more bad shit just fueling the fire. So, yeah, I don't really like get that. Yeah, I just really do not get that shit at all. That shit needs to fucking stop. Now I believe for me, I should say I would have one or two more things to talk about. One in particular is when it goes to Mario Strikers. Here we go, Mario Strikers, Mario. Oh, and I got one more in mind. I'm gonna put it up anyway. It's Monster Hunter Rise. This is when it goes to Sunbreak. And what my fears are, I mean, like, you know, they're showing all the weapons and all the stuff like that, and I'm happy for them. They're showing all this stuff off, but we have all the positives, right? And I think the one thing we should talk about with Monster Hunter when we get there are the concerns. So I want y'all to hold y'all concerns until we get to that point, if that's all good. But because I want to talk about Mario Strikers real quick and my concerns with it, my pros and my cons, my concerns with it. So y'all saw me play Mario Strikers on stream, but I haven't quite given y'all my pros and cons with it, particularly when it goes to the gameplay. So let's start with the pros. The pros is, for me, it feels like it really is an enhanced Mario Strikers, like original GameCube Mario Strikers. That's what it feels like. It feels like a very much enhanced version of it, and I'm very happy with some of the things they did like put in there, like such as, okay, when you tackle a person, when you tackle your teammate, you can push your teammate forward to tackle another guy. The only problem I got with that in particular, minor con with that, is they kind of like it doesn't like properly line up for you. You know what I mean? I like the concept. I love the concept for it, because should it get to that point where you're out of reach and you see that an opponent is potentially about to score, you do have that as an option there. I absolutely do love that. That's another form of strategy that we're gonna fucking love and probably find a way to exploit. Yeah, I absolutely do love that. So I hope at some point we get to see more of it, you know, in time, when the game does come out. That's a nice Kirby version right here. Kirby version of Strikers. Absolutely love that. I'm gonna send that to some people. So am I, and honestly, I'm still gonna pre-order Mario Strikers despite my cons. I'm gonna pre-order both of them, despite my cons of how I feel with both games. I'm definitely gonna pre-order it because I'm gonna have some fun with them. That's my first pro of it. My second pro of it is that, again, for me, the gameplay is absolutely fluid. Uh, I love how the game plays. You know, I always did love how Mario Strikers plays, and it plays no different than how it did the first two iterations of the game. It definitely feels like this is meant to be on the Switch for a while. I'm happy with that. The Hyper Strike abilities are fucking cool. I love how they balance that out, because the one thing I was worried with it was when you put in all these characters as a team that were once captains. The one thing that I had a fear of is, how are you gonna put in the what are you gonna do with the Hyper Strikes? How is that gonna come into play? And they found a way to actually settle that by picking it up as an orb. Everybody's a team. They get their control of it, and they only get it for like 20 seconds. That's fucking cool as hell to me, and I'm all for it. And another thing is, it can actually get shut down. Another thing, there's two ways you can shut it down. The first way you can shut it down is, of course, you have them drain it all. The second way is that you hit them as soon as they're in the process of completing, their hyper strike. So if you hit them when, like, say, their first bar goes green and their second bar, that's about to go green, but then you hit them just in time, you cancel that out entirely. So you don't even have to wait a full 20 seconds. They just have to wait until they get another opportunity. So that's fucking cool for me. Also, I love the perfect strikes. They has a little bit of skill involved with it. The perfect strikes, the perfect passes. Perfect passes has always been in the game, but it feels now, in my opinion, they're a little bit more harder. They're actually a little bit more harder than they would be in the past. Now, I welcome that challenge because it felt way too easy to get a perfect pass off in both the games. So to see that being a thing, I'm for it. You said I was going. Okay, Maggie, you said that the animations when they score or get score on is hilarious too. Yeah, I absolutely love the animations. The animations with Donkey Kong is fucking great. The animations with everybody. I just love the animations with Donkey Kong. His is just fucking expressive as hell. I mean, like, Donkey Kong, for me, he always felt like the expressive type for quite a while now. But that game right there, they got it. They got it down to a T. They got it. Whatever model, whatever the fuck they did with DK, they need to use that shit for future games and run with it. Just run with it, please. Because it felt like it was it felt like it was there, but it wasn't enough. This game, it felt like it was there. They hit it with Donkey Kong, in my opinion. Twitter said for Peach's losing animation, the racial slur almost came out. No, they need to stop that. 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 Peach ain't the type. Yeah, the animations for the game, both winning, both losing. The gameplay itself, the weapons, the way how they handled the weapons is pretty damn cool too. I love how they did that to where you're actually. I don't know if y'all consider this a pro and a con, but for me, I actually really didn't like it to where if you hit players, you automatically like get fucking items and shit. I don't quite like that. Now, the way how they handled it in this game is way better to where the fans will actually throw some shit at you and you have to run there and pick it up. I actually do like that. Again, for me, in my opinion, more strategy. So, I'm all for it. Peach's losing animation. You haven't seen it yet? How you doing, Masa? If I can't find it on Twitter, I'm going to find it on YouTube. I guarantee you that. So, here it is right here. There's a comparison, though. That's all she's doing. She's just keeping her breath. She's keeping cool. She's keeping steady. There you go. So, there you go. That's really all she's doing. And they said, and then that's where Omega's comment came in and said, he said, Peach's losing animation was the racial slur almost came out. I'm like, y'all need to stop. But, But basically, I'm for it with the game. Those are my pros with the game. I'm for it. I'm for it. Now my cons with the game should be pretty simple enough. I don't know about you guys, but my cons with the game are simply where I don't like this route that they've been going with a couple games. And this is no different where they're doing post updates with the game with characters being released. Here's how I feel with it. If anybody don't remember the Mario Strikers roster, just what they had from what I remember. For who was taken off, by the way, from what I remember for who they had when they took it off. They had, I believe they had the Super Team. They had Daisy there. The Super Team I can understand because they eventually replaced it with Bowser. I get that. He's in the game. I'm not mad about that. But they had Daisy there, who's the main focal point for why people are so pissed off about this game, because Daisy was in there. And they basically replaced Daisy with Rosalina. That's essentially what just happened. And I believe they had was that all for main captains? Was Daisy? Or was trying to think of it. Who else was a captain that got taken off initially? This is just the main game. I'm starting with the first game. The second game I already know one other in particular that got taken off. Diddy Kong is not in this game. He was in the second one. They took him off. Birdo was in the game. Birdo was once in the game as a support, and I believe she was in it again as a support. Now, I think like this. I don't know about y'all, but if anything, y'all could put her in as a captain at this point. That's just me. Hell, y'all put Toad in there. Toad was a support. He wasn't a captain. Not that I remember. But then they put him in the game. Oh, you could put in the Hammer Brothers. If you're gonna put in Toad, you better put in the fucking Hammer Brothers. I love the Hammer Brothers. You know, the Hammer Brothers. So I'm all for it. So yeah, I believe it's like this. The characters that were once a supporting cast of the captain, put them in as captains or put them in as singular players in their own right. So they took them out as well. And for me, that's the one thing that's kind of worrying with me. Is why make that a post update when you could have put that in the game initially? And that's where people got this issue with Nintendo as of late, because they do this to where they'll have these games come out unfinished and then they'll start putting them out later on as updates. You know, we look at Mario Party Superstars as a prime example. Mario Party Superstars came out, I don't know if it came out good at launch or anything like that, but what I know is that people were getting increasingly frustrated with the game. And they didn't start putting out any updates with the game until way, way, way later. So I think with that, they need to cut that back. And they need to start taking their time and releasing these games with more content like how it was initially. That's what people know. That's what we know Nintendo for. Where they used to stick with this old model where, okay, let's put out these games. Let's put some work in. And if we ever want to come up with some shit in the future, we will do it. But let's actually put in enough content to where people can play the game and have some fun. Hell, we could even look at Smash Bros. As a prime example of this. The reason why people were okay with post updates when it goes to Smash Bros. Was because we knew that we had enough content. They had enough content to hold everybody over. Until people would start begging and being like, yo, I want more, and they got more. They did this. The only time we felt like that wasn't the case. The only time they felt like that was really the case was, of course, was with Brawl. And of course with Melee as well, where we felt like, you know, we got our content, we got the content, got the characters in the game, but you know, you feel like you want more. You wish such and such was in the game. You wish that was in the game. You wish this was in the game. They addressed that in Smash 4 and people fucking welcomed it because, you know, you want more characters. Even after launch. We get that. This isn't the case with Mario Strikers. This is way different from Mario Strike. Way different from Smash Brothers. So, we feel like, okay, let me put it like this. The characters that were in the previous 2 games, leave them in and bring in more. If you're gonna put in more, if you're gonna have more content, after its release, don't state it as, okay, we're gonna have more content, when really you're just putting in characters that you once took out. That's practically taking 2 steps back. Smash Ultimate addressed that, because in Smash 4 they took off characters that we once, felt like, oh shit, why are they not in the game? Snake wasn't in the game. Ice Climbers wasn't in the game. Ice Climbers wasn't in the game. There was I believe there was one other character that wasn't in the game. I'm trying to think of it. Roy wasn't in the game. He was in the game as DLC. Mewtwo wasn't in the game. He was in the game as DLC because talking about for Smash 4, by the way, when Brawl came out, they missed these characters. They put them back in, but as DLC. And then Smash Ultimate, they ported them right over. Oh, I don't mind having to talk about that. But yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. And by the way, not to shift topics, but yeah, we're about to start finishing up with this topic anyway. But all I'm saying is, Mario Strikers, that's my cons, is the post updates. It's really just the post updates. It can make or break a game like this. And I really don't want it to break a game like this. I want it to do more. We haven't had Mario Strikers game in what, fucking 7 years, 8 years? Probably more than that. So don't have it so that these updates fuck the game over, and just stop taking away characters that were once in it initially. If anything, add on to that. Do what Smash Ultimate did. That's all I can really say. You said not to shift topics here, but the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy producer Shinji Yashimoto retired after 30 years. That's a lot of work in the gaming industry. Hey yo, let that man retire. He gotta be what, in his 60s? Let that man retire. Let that man rest. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy after he leaves. I mean, now that he's gone. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with it now. But this is what I do know. The fact he was a part of a lot of games, probably from Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, yeah, that man deserves to go to a nice beach somewhere, go to a nice retirement home, and just go chill out. He's done enough work with both games. You said you're curious to see how it'll go on without him. I'm curious as well, but hey, we will find out in time. We will definitely find out in time. What we do know is Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be reality. Well, it's likely Kingdom Hearts 4 is probably his last game. We don't know how much say he had on the project, but we know that's his last game that he'll probably be credited with. Really, that's it. Really, that's all I can just... I just know I don't have to worry about Final Fantasy 16 having a shit story. Oh my god. Man, I'm done with you. Alright, so my last thing I guess to talk about is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. We gotta talk about Sunbreak. We gotta talk about it a little bit. We gotta talk about it for a little bit. So, right now with Monster Hunter Rise, their official Twitter is just showing off the armor. Which so far, I gotta say, some of the armor that we're seeing here, it's fucking great. Such as the Magma Almadron gear. It looks like a fucking Gundam character or some shit. So, I'm all for it. Show it off. Have some fun with it. Looking really cool. I very much like it. Yoshi P is great. I remember who Yoshi P is. I think I know who he is. Of course we got the the Astalos armor. I'm tripping. Got the Astos armor here again, looking like another fucking Gundam character. Not a Warframe. Nah, bro, this look like Gundam, bro. The designs look a little too crazy to be Warframe. The dog and the cat. The dog here. Okay. Whole Kamen Rider. Yeah. Now, and this the cat. Cat looking like a fucking bee or a mosquito, I guess. But yeah, right now with Monster Hunter Rise, really what they're doing is they're just showing off armor. They're showing off the game. They're showing off some aspects of the game. But here's my question. We already talked about the pros. We already talked about what we love. Oh, I haven't seen Dual Blades, actually. Let me actually check this out now. I have not seen Dual Blades. I haven't seen Light Bowgun either. So I'll be mad at myself if I buy it. I hear you. I'm mad at myself if I don't buy it. Oh, they brought... Oh, shit. They brought that back from Gen U. Okay. Okay. Brought that back from Gen U. Alright. Piercing Bind. You're mine. Yep. That's what we're about to talk about. That's essentially what we're going to talk about. Okay. I haven't seen Light Bowgun. I'm gonna check that out now. Light Bowgun is at least one of the few weapons I do play. I don't play it as much as I should, but I play it. Why? Oh, okay, that's actually cool shit. That's actually a nice like, nice move. Firepower. Wow. Okay, that's good. How the fuck? Boss, how you doing? I'm sorry that you got COVID again. Jesus Christ. Please go get rest. Please go get rest. Go rest, boss. We out here just chilling. Please go get rest. Keep your prayers up for boss lady people. I did not know about that. Boss got COVID again? I believe it was again, because I think you said you had it before. Yeah, dual blades can adept dodge. Yeah, you could do that right now as you get on Monster Hunter. I'm resting, getting better. And it's great to hear, boss. It's great to hear. Right now we're just talking a little bit about Monster Hunter, and then after that we're pretty much gonna give more of our thoughts on the game. So basically, now here's my question with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And we talked about a lot of positives with the game. We talked about what we can't wait for, what we want to see in the game. My question to y'all: what do you think are your issues that are your cons that you feel like you're gonna face with the game? Like, what are your concerns with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak? Because really, my initial concern with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is it's gonna feel like how it was with Iceborne, which is a few flaws. I have a few flaws with Iceborne to where. Not again, though it feels similar to last time. I got sick but never tested positive. Oh, okay. I understand. Again, please go get rest. Please go relax. You know, we're here. We're just telling. We're just talking. That's all we're really doing. We're not playing any games. I don't think I'm gonna play any games or anything like that, boss. But please do try to get better. I will see you when you get better. I promise you that. But my initial concern with that when it went to Sunbreak is, again, like how it was with Iceborne, where when we played a game, we having a lot of fun with it. The one thing that I had such a fear of, and it didn't start to get better for me until the post updates came. My problem with Sunbreak is I don't want it to be stale like how Iceborne was initially until the post updates came. Iceborne, it had a severe problem when it went to the grinding lands. And, of course, we had to use the grinding lands to get materials. We had to use it to get whatever it is that we had to get. My thing is with Sunbreak is please, please, please do not go that same route that Iceborne went, where you hit us with some shit that we have to sit up there and we have to grind our ass with, and then all of a sudden we're tired and bored of the game. Whatever it is that y'all want to put in with this game, put it the fuck in now and run with it. You know what I mean? Don't sit here, don't drop this now. Then next thing you know, we're gonna get more monsters post update, and then we're gonna feel like, damn, we have to do all this all over again. We have to grind all this all over again. That's probably the one fear I really got. Pack in as much content as you fucking can before you drop this game. And don't hit us with a niche thing where we have to go there, we have to grind for materials, we have to grind to unlock certain monsters, which was the case in Iceborne, because I hated having to unlock silver and gold Rathos and Rathian just off of going to the grinding lands to get them, or just have to. The only way I could play them was that I would have to hope somebody will already have the quests ready. They would have already done it. Will already have done it, and then I'll have to go to them in order to fight them. But pretty much that's my fear. I don't want Sunbreak being as stale as it was when Iceborne came out, and then it had to take updates for the game to start to get better. Another thing I'm noticing here, there's specific monsters that should be in this game, but they're still not in here yet. I'll be honest with you. I like the idea that they're taking their time with having some members of the Fated 4 be in specific Monster Hunter games, but at this point, I'm getting tired of them teasing this. Monster Hunter, at this point, needs to bring the whole Fated 4 in this game. Bring in Glavenus. Bring in Glavenus. Because he was the only fucking member out of the Fated 4 to come in Iceborne. No one else came. Gammoth, we still haven't heard from Gammoth. They already got 2 right with Astalos and with Mizu. At this point, you need to complete them. Complete the faction, please. Complete the quad. Bring in all 4 of them, and just call it at that. Don't wait till the next Monster Hunter game, and then next thing you know, we're now fighting Gammoth and such and such. I'm like, why y'all what the fuck is this going on? Are we gonna have a Monster Hunter Generations 2 or some shit like that? But we're just slowly putting it out so that these monsters are just spaced out and coming back in within games. At this point, just put them in there. That's how I feel. Another thing is, this is a bit of a con on my end, is no disrespect to the Rampage. I like the idea, but if you're going to start making Rampage a key factor into Monster Hunter Rise, you need to have better rewards. And the better rewards come from scrapping these Apex monsters, because this shit ain't it. Because why is it when we're fighting these Apex monsters, we're getting the usual materials that we would get when we fight the monster regularly? The only challenge we're getting out of it is the fact that we're just fighting them in their more dangerous forms from Generations Ultimate. At this point, y'all need to scrap with it, do away with it entirely, or better yet, actually drop some freaking materials that are specifically tailored to them, like how it was in Generations Ultimate, and then after that, that'll give us more than enough of a reason for us to continue, fighting them. But right now, this ain't it. Why am I fighting a harder Mizu, when I could just fight a regular one and get a regular one, with the same abilities or whatever the fuck it is, and still get the same materials. So for me, I don't understand that. I'm getting absolutely nothing from that. The Rampage weapons are not it. Unless y'all gonna do something more with it, the Rampage weapons ain't it. Hold on. Okay, God, I had to yawn. Um, yeah, that's really just that. If you're looking to make Rampage a mainstay, y'all gotta do more than that. Because Rampage was absolutely got dried out within the first week of the game. That's not a good look. Oh, another thing, please, 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 Monster Hunter, y'all need to do this. And Rampage gave me a clear example of this. Y'all need to fix your fucking UI, because that's too much stuff in one UI to where we can barely fucking see anything. Like, I haven't played it in a good minute, but PC is already like doing your job for you when it goes to UI. Where if we want to, we can go ahead and scale the shit back and be like, yo, y'all need to just zoom this shit out some. Because this is way too far in and we can barely see what the hell's going on. We could only see our hunter and a little bit of space between our hunter and between the area with what's going on in front of us. We don't have that full view that we would usually get. So, yeah, if at that, please fix your UI. Oh, and one other thing, please have it so that, that little slow-mo thing that I showed on the PC version? If somehow that can be added, I will be happy with that, and I'll rather take that any day of the week, because I feel like, okay, maybe this is just me, but the camera angle shit when a monster dies has always felt useless to me. Because what you're doing with that is you are leaving out the opportunity to where, okay, the hunter should be ready to carve out, the parts, the materials needed so they could get what they want. Why have this little idea to where the monsters should be zoomed in to where they're really just fucking dying? I mean, yes, I accomplished my goal. I killed the monster. But please stop having it so that it obstructs me from having to get materials. Either that or keep it like this to where we can fucking skip. Because I hated it in Monster Hunter World. I even didn't like it in Generations either. I didn't like it, period. I don't like it, period. I never did like it. I never did understand this to where we're zoomed in the monster's face or zoomed in their chest. Unless it's something like, what's that? I forgot their name. But what's that one monster called when you kill him and he shoots a fucking red laser to showcase the sun's rising, the sun's coming out, sun's rising after you beat him. That was the only time I feel like that was necessary. It wasn't necessary for me when you're fighting it wasn't necessary when you're fighting fatalities, because it doesn't do anything too crazy, just like everyone else does. They just fuck around, they die. And that's it. You carving shit and you going back. It's the little shit that I feels like is what matters with this. Also, bring back the old little quest sequence to where, I'm getting tired of these poses. No disrespect. Again, I understand they worked hard on this. They did a great job on this. And I get they worked hard on the animations with this. They tried to put more expressions and more life into your hunter, and I completely get that. But I'm so used to this at the point where I just want to finish my quests and go right back to the hub and do the next mission or change my weapon, whatever it is that there is to do. That's my concern, that they would leave some of this shit in here and they wouldn't adjust to some of our concerns. Or adjust to some of the things that they didn't learn from in the past. Or, in my case, not put in specific monsters that they already had in the past. I know I'm rambling on a bit, but hey, if I didn't love Monster Hunter, I wouldn't be rambling now, wouldn't I? But yeah, if y'all got any concerns with this, If y'all got any concerns with Monster Hunter, have at it, cause that's really my big problem with it. That's really my concerns, my issues that really I had to state. Is post content monster updates after the DLC comes out, where the where the expansion comes out and it gets a little concerning. Really, that's what I'm just really concerned with. I'm scared of the expansion being dry, just like Iceborne was, and they have to take to post content for it to save the game. There's this, and of course the little shit that I'm not too thrilled with. Also, one thing, this is not a concern towards Monster Hunter. I'm happy to post this picture. It's not a concern towards Sunbreak, but this is a concern I have towards Monster Hunter in general. I don't know about y'all, but is there gonna be an expansion for Monster Hunter Stories 2? Like, if anything should be a concern, it's this game. They put out updates with the game and just left it behind entirely. So I hope we get some news with this a little later. I hate Kyle, but yeah, that's literally me. But yeah, for anyone, do y'all have any concerns? Any at all? When it goes to Sunbreak? Or did I address them all? Because if I address them all, then that's a little crazy. I'll give y'all time while I go ahead and just look some stuff up here. Yeah, we'll go ahead. I'll go and look that up.
The hunting horn. It went through
Yeah,
quite a
basically,
lot of changes
that. I
when
just
it
want
arrived,
specific monster to come back.
many
But
of
who do
which
you
were
want
rather
to come back?
controversial. However, there was one change that I think flew under the radar for most hunters. A change that I think many would agree is really cool. Previously,
Yeah, that's the one fear you have, is you feel like it will be boring to you, and I completely get that. Is this off the trailers that you've been looking at, or is this off of just you playing Monster Hunter Rise? See, that comes with the concerns I just talked about when it went to the Rampage. I will say this though, if one monster needs to be left out entirely, I want him left out entirely. I don't care. I want him to get the treatment that Gogmaxios, I believe, Gorgonox, whoever the fuck that monster is, that's like a better version of Kezu. I want this monster to get that treatment to where they don't return. That would be Malfestio. I don't care. I pray they get that treatment. Giganox, yeah. I actually like Giganox. Giganox, in my opinion, is a better version of Kezu. Way better. I mean, kill me for it if you want, but that's the better version of Kezu. See, this is where we're gonna agree to disagree. You want Malfestio back? I don't want Malfestio back. But we will find out and see if it returns. The Malzeno court needs his jester? Fuck that jester. I don't care. Fuck that jester. I said what I said. But okay. I guess that's it then. All the concerns have really been addressed when it goes to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. I guess I addressed most of them, if not all of them. If any of you guys felt like you agree or you disagree, you feel like you want to add on more, have at it. But yeah, for me, definitely, if anything, it's the content, how the game is before post content updates come out, and really, it's really the Rampage, because I remember so much hype with the Rampage and how it was when it came out. I mean, how it was before it came out. Now it comes out and it's like we're done in about a week. We don't even want to fuck with it anymore. It's like it's not giving us any reasons to really want to do it. On top of that, the UI for Rampage, or the UI in general of how it is, it needs to be addressed. Because it's too much. It's way too much stuff on the screen, way too concerning. It's way too fucking close. So that's why I'm happy for there being modders that actually have it to scale back. But here's the deal. You don't have that. You don't have that. And for another Chan, how you doing? Welcome. Go play your game. If you're streaming, I'm about to raid you, because I have a feeling that's where I'm gonna go with this. But pretty much those are my concerns. Those are my concerns. Is she streaming? Because if so, yeah, that's where we're about to go. Yes, she is. She's playing Dead by Daylight. Looks like I got my answer of who I'm streaming tonight. Now, it would be anyone else, but yeah, I think this is who I'm going to sit here and have some fun with. So, till then, guys, y'all know right now my schedule of the week is I have no schedule of the week. I have no schedule for a while until I feel like my situation will be addressed. So, till then, guys, if y'all want to play Monster Hunter, if y'all want to play Smash, whichever which with me, I'm absolutely open for it right now. I got some time on my hands until I'm ready to go to sleep. So, till then, y'all. Marasa, welcome. You just caught me at the end. You just caught me at the end. Damn, Marasa, you just caught me at the end. But I will let you know. I will tell you. I will ask you though if you have any thoughts from Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Do you have any concerns with the game? Do you have any concerns with the expansion? I want to ask you that before I go ahead and head off. Because if you do, okay, you don't have any? Okay, well, if you don't have any right now, again, feel free to go ahead and tell me, you've been playing on the games. That is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine, Marasa. That's absolutely valid. I get that. Definitely playing some other games. I definitely get that. But, yeah, till then, guys. I thank y'all so much. Marasa, I'm sorry you came in late, but thank you so much for coming. Omega, thank you for coming. Masa, Fuyu. There was one person that came in that was new. Boss Lady, thank you for coming. As always, please go rest. Hans Kamlikov? Kilmov? I think that's your name, the last name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But thank you for coming for a first-time viewer. I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Till then, guys, we're going to go raid for another chance. For another chance playing Dead by Daylight. She's absolutely great. I love her. If y'all don't know Fanilla Chan by now, you'll see her on the You'll see her whenever I do live stream setups. She has done amazing art for me. She's done like 4 or 5 pieces of art for me, and I'm probably gonna get some more from her once I get paid, because I'm looking for a lurking emote. That's what I'm looking for. I really need a lurk emote, and I don't fucking have it. So I'm gonna commission her for that. But till then, guys, I'll see y'all then. Every second, every minute, and every hour y'all spend with me is every second, every minute, and every hour I'm extremely blessed and extremely thankful for. You guys say hi to Fanilla Chan playing Dead by Daylight. We're going to go see what's up with her. I will see you guys when I see you for the next stream. Peace. Have a good night.